2022 Milcreek, made by T-Bell, in MX Bikes, and there's a nighttime version as well. Let's get into this. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. So today, I am covering 2022 Milcreek, and as you can see on screen, there is a nighttime version of this track. Oddly enough, in that introduction in the replay camera, that was actually on this same track. So when you go into replay on the nighttime version, it is the day track. So there's some weird and wonderful stuff obviously going on in the files here for T-Bell to give us a night version. You would also see there should probably be some specks of rain on the screen every now and then. So on the cloudy and clear versions, when you go into testing, you get nice normal track, normal skybox during the daytime. However, when you switch it to rainy, you get this really cool looking nighttime skybox, which I am a big fan of. We don't have many nighttime tracks in MX Bikes, although I cannot see anything in this section. Oh my god, that is dark. Hopefully it looks a little bit better on YouTube's end than mine. It's just where I've got a light shining on me at the moment. The monitor might be reflecting a little bit. So Milcreek is a track that I have a lot of experience with, but oddly enough, not from real life in any capacity whatsoever. I don't think I've ever seen a GoPro around Milcreek in my existence. Obviously, I've never been there at all. Many hundreds of miles away. However, what I have done is dedicated far too many years to playing MX Bikes. Now, there is a couple of Milcreek iterations in MX Bikes over the years. I feel like I've played majority of them, done a whole handful of fun races on a bunch of them as well, and it is a track that I really enjoy. It's a very fast track, and I mean, all the versions I've played in MX Simulator have always been very enjoyable and a good time all round. I don't really know of anybody that's disliked them. So as soon as I saw this made by T-Bell, it was posted today actually at the time of me recording this. Today is the 21st, which is a Wednesday. I just had to hop on it. You know, I absolutely love these Milcreek tracks, and I'm hoping that I will love this one just as much in MX Bikes rather than on MX Simulator. I do, but because I've played it so much in other games, know the rough layout. I'm guessing that the track layout itself has changed over the years here and there, like different sections, but for the most part, I believe the main structure of the track should remain mostly unchanged. So I'm not really going in full blind today, but we are slightly winging it, just hoping that all the sections kind of make sense to me. And it's been a while since I covered a T-Bell track as well. I can't actually remember what the last one is. I'll go do some digging, have a look through his mods post and see what the last one was. But if I recall correctly, I don't think I've ever hated one of his tracks, which is always a good sign. So let's see if we can carry things on in that regards. Now, the only thing that he has said on the post is that he's gone for a one-to-one scaling, so some parts of the track might seem a little bit tight for MX Bikes, although I don't know if it's just because I'm on a 250 at the moment or what, but I'm not really noticing any of that right now. I feel like the scaling is actually pretty good. And then as well, there are some slight differentiations in terms of layout / sections, just to change out from 2021. So I don't know how true this is based on the current layout of the real Milcreek. However, in terms of scaling wise, it should be pretty bang on, which is, if that is the case, that uphill jump there, pretty insane. Not one that I'd probably ever see myself clear in IRL if I, for some reason, ever found myself at Milcreek. I thought I would also hop on the Gas 250 today. Not sure if I've ever done a video on the Gas 250. I know that I've definitely done one on the 450, and I'm pretty sure the track was The Sky Is the Limit last time I rode that bad boy. I also rode a Gas 450 on the JS7 compound that was recently released, but yeah, the Gas is not a bike that I've spent a whole lot of time on. Now, I was doing a bunch of testing the other day for just all of the 250s, working my way through them to see what kind of works and doesn't work for me. Bearing in mind, I know nothing about setup, so I was going through all of these bikes just completely stock. And I found that I actually really enjoyed the Husky 250, which I think is a bike that I think gets sleeped on. I very rarely see it being used at all. Usually people go down the KTM, Kawasaki or Honda route for the 250s. I do like the Kawi. It's always going to be there as kind of like my backup if I ever am in Struggle Town on a certain track. The Honda, oddly enough, I used to really enjoy. I used to main the Honda 250, but yeah, last time I tried it testing-wise, I just couldn't really get on with it too well. I'm not sure why. And then I tried the Husky out and had a lot of success with it. I'm guessing it's just because the stock setup is maybe what I prefer out of all the stock setups in the game. It might not even be the better bike. It certainly isn't the fastest. The track that I was testing on was at round 3 of Aerial. It was Thunder Valley, and there is a massive kind of like uphill triple in the middle of that track, and you could really see the different powers of all the 250s on that one jump. So I think the KTM is the only bike that I truly got up and over this triple on cleanly. All the other bikes, I was either just getting a front wheel over it or casing it fully in the example of the TM. The TM, I just could not get over it whatsoever. It was a bit very sluggish. But then obviously in my mind, if I'm enjoying the Husky a little bit, then surely I should in turn like the Gas as well, because they are the same bike, just with different colours and plastics. I honestly feel like I get placeboed way too much, because I know, and I've been told by the OEM guys, they are identical in every way. It is purely visual differences. But every time I hop on the Gas, bearing in mind, it's still very rarely. Every time I hop on it, I just can't seem to ride it as well as I ride the Husky, even if I put the same suspension on it. So I don't know what that is. I have exactly the same situation with the Fantic and the Yamaha, because they are also identical. I always seem to ride the Yam much better than I ride the Fantic. But yeah, it shows that placebo is a real thing. And it can even be down to literally just having different handlebars on your screen. It just looks different, so in turn you might ride slightly different. I remember way back in my sim days, there was a very fast guy by the name of Valtteri, and he was adamant to have fat bars on all of the bikes that he rode. He was a first-person player, and I guess I think it's just more of a comfortability thing than anything else, and I can get that. I understand it. You know, I think that's why I don't tend to mix up my bikes too much when it comes to the competitive side of things. More than happy to do it for videos. I have no issue with that whatsoever. It's just a bit of fun. You know, it's only going to be like 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time. But when it comes to the real competitive stuff and stuff that matters, I say matters as if it's life and death, you know, matters in terms of game competition, then I like my my tried and tested stuff. I like my Huskies because they just seem to be what I feel comfortable on. But I don't mind venturing out every now and then. What I will say is, as I've been sitting here chatting away, I've been running. I think I've been logging some pretty good laps in the background. Been messing up little sections here or there just from lack of not knowing the track fully. And I will say that some of these jumps can be a little bit of a stretch on the old 250. So nice to see a track where the 450s might be able to thrive for a change as well. Which on a track that he said might be a little bit tight because of the scaling is a little bit odd. But I don't think it's too tight of a track whatsoever. It's really good. I feel like it's a very easy track just to get around. You know, I mean, every single corner has like a massive around the outside, so worst case scenario, and if you're absolutely awful at going through ruts, you've got a big old bank to go off of. And all of the ruts as well, none of them seem particularly bad. They all seem pretty damn big, pretty easy to sit in. Maybe too much. I don't know if it's too easy, but then I'm not sure what the target player base is for this track. It could just be a track for like beginner/intermediate, which I think most tracks are, because I suppose as a creator you want your content to be played by as many people as possible. So that makes sense in my mind. I can see why they would make tracks fairly easy. But you see here, like every single right in that corner looks very usable. There's none that are awful. None have weird hooks in them or massive bumps or anything like that. So I feel like he's done a pretty damn good job. The environment itself, I mean, I've never been to Milcreek, so I can't say how accurate it is in regards to that. Obviously, nighttime, I don't know if they ever do Milcreek races at nighttime. Do they have? I mean, I can see floodlights dotted around the track. I don't know if that's a real thing. However, one thing that I've learned since doing this whole YouTube thing and building this community up with you guys is there always seems to be one of you that has ridden a replica track that gets put into this game. So if that is you, and you've ridden at Milcreek, let me know. Has T-Bell done a good job in terms of replicating it? Do you think that there's anything he should have added or taken away at all? Because my first impressions riding around here, just a very straightforward, solidly built track just to log laps on, and I think that's all I would probably ever use it for, is just to log laps, have a bit of fun, maybe get some friends on now and then and just have a rip around, spend time taking each other out. I do think, oh, I've run out of tear off, so you're going to have to deal with the rain on the screen. I do apologise. I do think that if there was to be a race on this track, it would probably be a very intense race. Only from the fact that because the track is so easy, that I think everyone's lap times would be so close together. There's not much room for differentiation. So it'd be kind of similar to like the old Baja, for example, where if there was a pro race on that, maybe like the top 10 to 20 people would only be 2 seconds or so apart in lap time, because it is just pinned absolutely everywhere. And once I learn the learn lines, I should be okay. I always struggle because when I do these videos, I feel like I sit here talking, and that's what takes away a lot of my concentration. Look, you see the ruts on the landing of that jump. Every single lap I've jumped that, I've scrubbed it, thinking that it's a slower jump than it is, but it's just a bloody triple. I need to remember that moving forwards. But yeah, so the track, very, very easy, very, very fast. I was originally going to hop on this on a 125 because I've been really enjoying my two-stroke action recently. Glad I didn't. Glad I went with the 250 because I think I generally would have struggled to go over some of these jumps. They are a little bit, sugar. They're a little bit on the bigger side. Not difficult big at all, just you have to carry your momentum around the corners. And sometimes, as in what I've literally just done, the insides might not always be the best line. Sometimes you do have to take these big outside ruts to give you a bit of a slingshot and get up and over things. Probably a different story. If you hop on the 450s, you should be able to get over things a lot easier. But I feel like I've also been taking the same lines over and over again, just with just where the track leads you. You know, it's got a certain flow to it. That corner is absolutely rapid. And then we've got just a tiny little double after it where you don't even need that much speed, which is a weird one. This corner here, absolute pain in the cheeks on MX Sim, I will say, from whatever version it is. I can't remember which one I played or who made it, but it's a little bit more off camber in Sim than it is on this game, and such a pain in the arse for your front end tuck in. It is an absolute nightmare. This corner I have done dirty every single lap. I can't actually see the ruts on my screen where it's so dark, but as I say, I'm hoping that you can see them a little bit better on YouTube side of things. Looking across at my Streamlabs recording on my other monitor, it looks slightly brighter than it does on my main monitor, and I also don't think that the Hurren shaders do it much justice as well in regards to where it increases the contrast between the light and dark, so the dark areas get like super dark. And for those that have been asking, by the way, I do get it quite a lot in regards to my shader settings. If you go to the MXB shop website and go to the Hurren compound, Hurren actually has he's put the reshade file on there, so you've not even got to buy the track to have access to it. It's just there on the details section of the track. Just go and download it. You know, it's just the normal reshade stuff. I sent that lap, still didn't get anywhere near it, so that is definitely an outside line job for the 250. But yeah, if you want my reshade, like that's all it is. I've not modified it in any way. It is purely what Hurren set up for his compound, so go and download it, give it a go, and hopefully that all works for you. I might see if there's any way of me just putting the link in the descriptions from now on, because it's a very, very commonly asked question. And I don't want to upload things myself to like a Google account, because I just don't want people having access to my stuff, if that's weird. Obviously, I've seen track creators having their Google Drive stuff, and I've loaded up, and I just get like their full names, which I never knew before. And I just, whilst that information is out there for me, I like keeping it under wraps as much as possible. But I'm a weird person. What can I say? So overall, I think T-Bell's done a very solid job here. Super fast track, very easy. Probably one of them tracks I would even advertise to new people to the game as being one of them first tracks to download, because I can even imagine hopping on a standard MSM trying to learn the game riding around here wouldn't be too difficult as well. I mean, I learned the game mostly on Washington/Washougal on the old MSM, and I think even that track's probably a little bit hard on this. So yeah, all skill levels, absolutely no problem at all. I realise that you can probably see less and less as time goes on, because I'm not only getting rain on my screen now, I'm also getting dirt. But I think that'll do it from me. A bit of a shorter video, but nothing too deep to dig into around this track. You know, it's very straightforward. But yeah, good job T-Bell, very good stuff. And as always, look forward to some more creations and what you're going to bring us next. If you've enjoyed this video, please do drop a like. No idea what just happened there, I was just swapping all over the place. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever it is you're up to, and until I catch you in the next video, peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain, even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want. I got salt to be.